Everyone, welcome to the latest of the Overboard Network, a Below Deck podcast. We're back with episode 5 of Below Deck Med titled Walkie of Shame, which I feel like made no sense if you watched the first 58 minutes of this episode and then still probably didn't feel like an appropriate title. But listen, I can go on and on about titles for the show. In this week's episode, we welcome back Courtney. Natasha goes from being kind of loved to just plain stinks, and new guests require some male attention. I'm also happy to announce that we got a great review on Pod Center from Jillian Indy. Great addition to my schedule. I really enjoy this pod. The hosts dive deep into plots and crews and don't spare giving us their opinions. Their views are fair and interesting, and I actually enjoy Sean's laugh. Keep going, Sean. I listen, man. I know you're married, but we found a woman who likes your laugh. I mean,
Yeah.
are we switching gears here?
I've heard that before. It sounds like Eddie Murphy's laugh.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I like that.
picture Donkey from Shrek. Yeah. I
Well,
love the
welcome.
compliment though. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jelly. We really do appreciate that. And for the listeners out there, please consider leaving a review and we'll read it up here. So Sean, let's jump right in here. Earlier this season, Reagan kind of played that like villain role that you just really love to root against. But here comes Natasha clearly being the least likable on board after this episode, as far as I'm concerned. And I was pretty shocked to see the things that happened here. It's just started here, Sean. Did you see this stuff coming?
Not really. Like the first couple episodes. I have a few questions leaving this episode. We're still like, is Natasha a good chief stew? Because she's Kyle and Natalia, who could both be chief stews in this boat, right? You could switch any of them with her, and this boat would run just as well, if not better.
Agreed.
So, like, just as a main character of the show, which the chief stew usually is, I know very little about her so far. It's just like her relationship with her ex-boyfriend and with Dave. And I'm not sure if she's that good at her job. But yeah, like, look, I just don't care if she gets back with her ex-boyfriend. Do you agree, John? Like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about this whole Natasha and her ex saga. I mean, it seems like a toxic relationship. They both cheated on each other. And like, do we really want to rekindle this? And how do you even make that entertaining from a viewer standpoint? Because like, we don't know who this guy is. Yeah.
The real world tried to do that a lot back in the early 2000s. Like, oh, will this girl break up with her boyfriend back home? And as a viewer, you always root for it to happen.
Yeah, I will say that I think Natasha is someone who, although she wanted to hide the relationship with Dave, I feel like she'll make it everybody's business if she gets back together with this boyfriend, which she literally needs to tell no one that she's back together with her boyfriend, and yet she'll find a way to tell everyone and then worry about if Dave's okay with it.
I love how she keeps referring to him as chef. Like on the phone with her ex-boyfriend. I mean, I guess it makes it less personal. Like
he wasn't a seaman, he was a bartender.
Hangover. Yeah, oh, classic. Yeah, but then just like the way, so she takes Natalia off of service after she set up the entire table for the casino night and got dressed up too. So Natalia wasted a great outfit.
Yeah. It broke my heart a little bit when Natasha made that decision. So Natasha basically says, hey, let's do Courtney on service because you know how to do everything downstairs in the bunks, right? Which, like, I get that from Natasha's standpoint, but Natalia just spent her like half the day putting the stuff together. Kyle mentioned, he's like, you have to let her like see the guests enjoying it. Just a tough situation. Is it that hard to clean something? I'm not good at it, but Courtney's done it before.
She's done it before. I know, like, she doesn't know where everything goes. That could be a very quick 5-minute explanation.
Yep.
That someone could do for her. Because they have essentially 4 stews in this charter for the first day because they can't leave the dock.
Right.
So someone could have like explained to Courtney like where all the cleaning supplies are. And then
didn't seem that hard, man.
And then earlier in the episode, poor Kyle has got dental pain, which by the way is the worst pain.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than that. I hope he gets that teeth grinding thing worked out. But
Don't you just like wear like a night guard or something? Isn't that
yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't have one.
yeah, like that seems like a fix.
Right?
But
Yeah. That it sounds so painful too.
yeah.
Like I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But earlier in the episode, Kyle's kind of drowning by himself, in pain during doing lunch service, and Natasha is not responding to help because she's talking to her boyfriend. I don't know. She was a bummer this episode.
She really was. And I agree with you, Sean, that she has such a strong supporting cast under her that she can really kind of like get away with murder at this point. Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
there's gonna be pains in which like Kyle's gonna feel like he's overworked or Natalia feels like they're overworked, but the guests are never gonna see it because they're both way too good at their job to let the guests see it.
Yeah. Compare that with Storm. So Storm's a provisional bosun. He's never been a bosun before. None of his deckhands have like any experience.
Yeah.
I know we'll get to Courtney during the boat. She did half of a charter season. She went to the Caribbean and joined midway through.
Yeah,
As
let's
a
just say
deckhand.
she's not going up against Storm for Bosun anytime soon. But I'm so glad she's back, right? I mean, let's not
Yeah,
feel like we're
yeah.
kind of like burying the lead there. We love Courtney. She's a blast. She's twerking all the time. She's having a great time. She's going to be a great addition to like the going out crew.
I can't wait for them to go out again. I love this crew when they go out.
Yeah.
The episodes really are great. Also just a joy to see Z so happy. Like the enthusiasm there.
Yeah.
I guess she went to South Africa to see him. I don't know. I guess they're just very good friends. I guess we will see.
Yeah. I think her coming on is unfortunately for like the viewers going to be like a crutch that Natasha's going to continue to use. So it's like they're pretty much using Courtney exclusively, which I guess you probably should because like we could talk about the charter a little bit, Sean, but they're not leaving the dock, or at least they haven't really left the dock.
So the very
So like if you're a deck crew, what are you doing, man? Like what are you just sleeping?
pretty much. I guess Courtney helped with Stu stuff, and then they took the golf carts out.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Mm.
I'm always a fan. Here's the thing, man. When I get older, I want to probably live on I'm a huge golfer, as I think some people know. If I can just live on a golf course, take my golf cart over to see my friends, that live near me. I mean, that's the dream, right?
They're also way more fun to drive than regular cars,
Oh God, yeah.
and it would be better for the environment and our dependence on oil.
There you go.
It
Get an
kind of
electric. Yeah.
yeah, it really
Yeah.
that would actually be a great plan for the future of America, like just golf cart cities.
I think the Villages in Florida pretty much has that concept already.
Yeah, and
But
I'm sure like Hilton Head too.
Yeah, I've tried to apply. I'm not old enough, but one day. So, Sean, one thing I wanted to talk about, and I know we're going to go on to other things, but so I'm not sure if we're done roasting Natasha. I'm pretty close, but I will say that I have no interest in her on her phone being a bad stew for the rest of the season. I think one thing that someone should say to her, and I feel like Kyle pretty much did, was he basically like he said like maybe going back to your ex isn't the best thing. Like
Yeah.
I honestly think like if you're about to backslide, this is to anyone, if you're about to backslide into like a former relationship, probably just don't do it, right? You broke up for a reason. And I mean, these guys were obviously some form of toxic, I would say, without actually being there because he cheated on her, she cheated on him. And then you got her calling saying, I love you to pieces. I can't live without you. That's not something you say when you both cheated on each other or something that like you actually probably feel. But good on Kyle for at least, being like a good friend and like not just letting the person hear what they want to hear.
She strikes me as someone who's never single.
Dude,
it's like afraid to be single.
Yeah. I mean, there was what was there half a second between whatever she had with her and Chef ending before she like kind of like was blowing up the phone to the ex. So yeah, Natasha, it's okay to be single. We all spend parts of our life single, and Sometimes they're just as fun or more fun than being in a relationship.
Especially if you're a chief stew, like on a boat.
Yeah, she's like
You're
a
just you're
she's
being
like
away
a
from people.
she's a good looking, I don't know how old she is, 28, 30.
She's from England, right? I think we
Yeah.
decided that in the first episode. I've never heard that accent before. I feel like
I mean, I
England
could
has
listen to yeah, I could listen to it all day. I'm not gonna lie to you.
it's a
But
good accent, but
yeah.
I feel like England has more accents than America, and we're a much bigger country.
Yeah, they have like pockets, like they're different accents, like smaller pockets.
Yeah, I guess we have some dumb ones like Baltimore has their own accent, but I don't know.
I don't know. Half this country calls things pop, man.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
so all right. So let's go on. I do want to talk about Natalia a little bit. And Kyle. I just want to give them respect. They absolutely crushed this episode. I think Natalia is such a good second stew, her and Kyle. Her decorations were on point. Sean, I don't know where we stand on Bugsy as a podcast, but she kind of reminds me a little bit of like Bugsy, like a 2.0 version, maybe even a 3.0 version. But great at decorations, could probably be a chief stew, even though she's a second stew. She's caught the eye of some of the deck team, and she's obviously like I think she's more fun than Bugsy was, and that's not a slide on Bugsy. Natalia is just amazing, but love to see what her and Storm are kind of bringing to the table here.
She's an Australian Bugsy in the best way. So not as uptight, not as serious about her job, and yeah, no, I love Natalia. I wish she was Chief Stew or Kyle. I'm not getting enough of Natasha. And look, she's been good for the show in moments.
Yeah.
There's been an interesting wrinkle that her and Chef were already dating when they like got on board. But I just think going forward, I kind of wish one of the other two were the Chief Stew.
Yeah. Sean, before we get off, and I think we're going to get off Natasha here, we've pretty much laid into her pretty good. Are we actively rooting against her at this point?
I'm rooting against her getting back with her ex-boyfriend.
Right.
I like when her and Kyle are like just hanging out and being buddy buddy. Like I like those moments.
They're great.
They're great, but is that mostly because of Kyle?
That's fair. Maybe the answer is just more Kyle, man.
Yeah.
So let's
but John, like I know we brought this up earlier. Nothing's gonna happen to her. Like she's not gonna get like fired by Sandy or anything because that interior team is too strong.
Well, okay. So
unless
this is something here's a controversy. I don't know how much controversy this is, but do we have a chance of a mutiny here? Because Natalia not happy with Natasha, Kyle not happy with Natasha. Like I would say that those two can make or break your time on the boat as a guest or a chief stew. Yes. They're so good at their job that they won't let things fall through the cracks. But I'm not sure that they are going to make like the crew environment that appealing to Natasha if they can help it.
Right. No, you're right. They could do that. But Sandy won't notice it on her own.
No, it's just like nights out would be weird, right?
Yeah.
Like Natalia's going to be with Storm. And then Kyle's going to be maybe just like alienating her. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Kyle or Natalia are bad people at all, but like if you really don't like somebody, you're not going to go try to spend as much time as you can with them during the nights out. And I do feel like if Natasha keeps taking advantage of them, that they're going to resent her.
I'd be surprised if that happened, but you're right. It could.
Yeah. It's an unpopular opinion, but it's where I'm at, man. Hey, let's get back into the charter here. So obviously we're not leaving Doc, which I don't know why Storm was putting together Anchor Watch, but that's another. Let's just assume he was doing a good job, but I don't know why they were doing Anchor Watch if they're at the dock. Lovely ladies here, but Sean, the good old below deck double standard never fails. Basically it was said to the deck crew, hey guys, you need to grind shirtless on the guests. Cool, thanks. Wasn't a question. It is what it is. I don't care. I mean, like the guys were fine doing it, but it's a nice double standard that at least Twitter didn't completely blow up, as opposed to it being the other way around.
Yeah. There's no like there are men's rights groups